So this is a proven framework for franchise consultants to pre-educate candidates, eliminate confusion, and cut time to award from 9 to 12 months all the way down to 60 to 90 days. Most franchise consultants waste 9 to 12 months on every deal. I'm about to show you how to cut that in half. And I know this works because I spent years as a YouTube strategist at one of the biggest agencies in the world. Now, I run my own agency and I've helped multiple clients generate 6 figures from YouTube. So the main problem is what's happening on your calls. On your calls with candidates, you're re-explaining the same basics over and over again. Here's what the FDD is. Here's what validation calls are. Here's what discovery day looks like. You're doing this on call 1, call 2, and call 3. By call 4, your candidates are confused. They're overwhelmed, they ghost, and that deal dies after months of work. This is what kills your time to award. It's not that candidates aren't interested, it's that they don't understand the process. And when they don't understand the process, they get scared, they get confused, they disappear, and you're back to square one. So this is why YouTube works perfectly for you. Now, I learned this at the top YouTube agency where I worked as a strategist. We saw the same pattern across every single niche. Customers were confused about the process, so we built YouTube content that pre-educates them. Candidates watch 3 to 5 videos. They arrive on the first call already knowing what to expect. They weren't confused anymore. They weren't overwhelmed. They were ready to move. Sales cycles dropped dramatically from 9 to 10 to 12 months, all the way down to 60 to 90 days. Think about how this can affect your time to award. This is proven across multiple niches. This works for any education heavy, high ticket, long process business. And franchise consulting is exactly that business. Now, I run my own agency and I'm seeing the same exact result with my clients. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to break down the exact videos you need to create to pre-educate your candidates. These are the videos that answer the questions your candidates are already searching for on YouTube. So the first video is the complete franchise buying process. What to expect from first conversation to signing. This video covers the entire timeline. Your candidates watch this and they know exactly what comes next at every stage. They know what to expect from call 1 to discovery day to validation calls to signing. This eliminates process confusion up front. The second video you need to create is the real cost of buying a franchise and how to budget for it. This is the video that kills the "it's more money than I thought" objection before it even surfaces. You break down the franchise fee, the working capital, the build out cost, the total investment. Your candidate watches this and they're not shocked by the numbers anymore. They're prepared. The third video you need to make is how to prepare for discovery day, what to ask, and what to expect. Discovery day is where candidates get nervous. They don't know what to expect. They don't know what questions to ask. This video eliminates that anxiety. You teach them exactly what to look for, what questions to ask, and what flags to watch for. The fourth video, the validation call process, how to talk to existing franchisees. Candidates are scared of validations calls. They think franchisees are going to lie to them. They think franchises are going to lie to them. They don't know how to ask the right questions. This video teaches them how to get honest information from existing franchises. It removes fear. The fifth type of video is, can you buy a franchise without industry experience? This is the objection that kills deals. Candidates think they need 20 years of experience to run a franchise. This video kills that objection. You show them that experience isn't required, process knowledge is. The sixth video is understanding the FDD without getting overwhelmed. The FDD is a 100-page legal document. Candidates see it and they panic. This video removes that. You show them what to focus on, what to skip, what actually matters. The last video you need is how to know if you're ready to leave your corporate job for a franchise. This is the objection that keeps candidates stuck. They want to do it, but they're scared to leave their job. This video helps them elevate their readiness. It gives them permission to make the move. Now, let me explain how all these videos work congruently to shorten time to award. Let me actually explain how this works in practice. First, people discover your videos. After they discover your videos and they watch your content for maybe like 3 to 4 hours and they enter into the sales process, they arrive already educated. Prospects are gaining knowledge before they ever make contact with you. Now, how does this make the first call different? So during the first call, you're not explaining surface level information that you've been doing for years. You're now getting into higher level questions that these people are asking. And as a result of this, those deals close faster. So what changes on the first call? Here's what happens on that first call. You're not explaining the process anymore. You're not re-educating them. You're matching them with the right brand. You're asking them about their goals, their lifestyle, their investment capacity. You're moving them forward. You're not stuck in education mode. And because they're already educated, they move through the process faster. They don't ghost between calls. They don't get overwhelmed. They move through discovery day with confidence. They do validation calls, they review the FDD, they get funding, and they sign. Time to award drops from 9 to 10 to 12 months down to 60 to 90 days. That's the power of pre-education. That's what YouTube does for you. So here's the proof. Now, I'm not just telling you that this works in theory. I built an entire agency around this. Dre, a gym owner, generated $24,000 just from 2 YouTube videos, both with under 50 views. Those views came from the right people. People who were already searching for a solution. People who were pre-qualified. So just a little bit of backstory about Dre. Dre sells to pre-existing business owner and he has a very niche offer that helps them scale. Now the TAM for his market is incredibly small, where 50 views on 2 YouTube videos was enough to make him $24,000 in sales. And that's because the right people watch the content. Michael, a car rental business coach. He teaches people how to start a private car rental business. He was able to generate $17,000 in sales from YouTube because his candidates were pre-educated. They weren't confused. They move fast and they close. This is the same mechanism. This is the same result. It works for any education heavy, high ticket business, and franchise consulting is no different. Your candidates are searching for this information right now. They're not just finding your videos yet, but when they do, they're going to be pre-educated. They're going to move fast. They're going to close. Why this works specifically for franchise consultants? Franchise buying is education heavy. Your candidates need to understand the FDD. They need to understand item 19. They need to understand validation calls. They need to understand discovery day, and they need to understand the entire process. YouTube is the perfect medium. You're not competing with entertainment. You're not competing with TikTok dances and Instagram reels. You're competing with educational content. And if your content is better, more specific, more honest, and more helpful, you'll win. Your candidates can find you, they watch your videos, they become educated, and they reach out and close. This is an education heavy process. FDD, item 19, validation calls, discovery day. Candidates need to understand all of it before they commit. This is targeting a high intent audience. People searching on YouTube for franchise information are already motivated. They're not browsing. They're researching a life decision. And better content wins. More specific, more honest, more helpful content rises to the top. You don't need millions of views, you need the right viewers. So here's what I've learned at the agency and what I'm proving with my own clients. Pre-education changes everything. Your time to award doesn't have to be 9 to 12 months. If you create YouTube content that educates your candidates on the franchise buying process, you can cut that in half. Your candidates arrive at your first call already knowing what comes next. They move faster, they close stronger, and you spend less time re-explaining the same basics. So build out the 7 core videos that answers the questions your candidates are already searching for on YouTube. Let YouTube do the heavy lifting. Candidates arrive at call 1 already knowing the process and the investment and what comes next. And that cuts the time to award down from 9 to 12 months all the way down to 60 to 90 days. Move faster, close stronger, stop re-explaining the same basics. If you want to implement a system like this for your practice, click the link below.